All right. So, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the AM show, the November 11th edition. Uh, Big day for me. It is my last day of work in the restaurant industry. I just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody for your support, your kind words. A lot of people went and watched the YouTube video and subscribed there, so I appreciate that. And one of the nicest compliments I've ever got was, "You are not nearly as ugly as you sound." So that was a yeah, it puts a smile on my face, so I appreciate that. But in all seriousness, this is I don't know. I think a very exciting chapter in my life, and I'm really happy to be starting to do that. But enough about me. I'm, as always, joined by the ENS bear himself as he exited his position, Mr. Free Market Capitalist.
Yes, sir. I am no longer a holder of ENS. I'll be buying back at $30 in 2 weeks. Good luck to everyone else with their bags. And I do think it could easily get to 120, 150. I just thought at $90, the risk reward wasn't there for me anymore. And I've seen these airdrops play out a bunch of times now, and I'm very sure it's going to mean revert close to where it ICO'd. So I could see it getting back to, between $15 and $30. I love it as a long-term hold. I love the product. I'd be buying ENS names today if you don't have them, but I did exit the airdrop last night.
Yes. So keep it. We're going to keep an eye on those charts as well, and I can't wait to see the tears of regret as this thing goes to 150 full stop.
Yeah, no, I sold I had 3 wallets with ENS. I sold the last one this morning for, I guess, what was it, 71 or $72 or something like that. And there's a Coinbase listing coming up, so it could just get that natural PR pump. But whatever, I'm very happy with my trade, and I am gonna buy it back.
Yeah. Hey, for a free airdrop, you can't really go wrong getting anything out of it, especially the amounts that I saw some people pulling out of it. So I mean, great for them, and it's hard to blame anybody for taking that big excess liquidity if you needed it, especially in this market. Really quickly, I want to just go over the crypto markets today. Keep this one short and sweet because not much is happening. We did see a bit of a pullback in Bitcoin and Ethereum yesterday. Nothing more than a meager 5%, and most of that has returned back to form. Looking at it right now, Bitcoin's at about 65,000, Ethereum's at about 4,700. Nothing wrong with those numbers as we look ahead. A couple of things that we have been talking about a lot on this show is obviously, and we just mentioned it, Ethereum name service. That did peak yesterday at slightly over $90. And CoinGecko is saying 83 is the all-time high, but I think you can attest to the fact that it did go higher than that. And
Yeah,
right
I
now
was
is
sitting on
yeah.
sushi. There were actually different prices on Uniswap and sushi the whole time. And if you go to like ChartX or TradingView, they tend to quote the uni price. So there was a lot of discrepancies. But I was sitting there watching it for at least an hour last night when it got above 80, because I thought maybe it could get to 100. And just at 91, I said, why am I, being a dick for a tick, as they say, for $9, and
Is
just
that what they
took
say?
it. But
I've never.
in futures trading, a lot of times you wait for that one tick on a target, and you're like, "What am I doing? Don't be a dick for a tick."
Oh, I get it. Okay. Yeah, I've never heard that
Yeah,
before, but you learn something new every day. So, anyways,
there you
Ethereum
go.
name service sitting at about $66 right now. This is probably nothing. Literally, probably nothing. PN Coin came out yesterday. Yeah, if you got in at the very, very, very bottom, you probably had a nice little trade here. But yeah, I mean, if you got in at a reasonable point, maybe you got a 2 or 3x. I can't even say how many decimal points that is. But yes, the probably nothing coin is the next on the list of meme shit coins that have been pumping and not yet dumping. And the king of those, it seems to be right now, is GM, as that continues to just be up only. I think if you went from the absolute bottom to the absolute top, you could have had a nice little 100x in the last 48 hours. So kudos to anyone that got in early on that. I know there was a couple Moon Lounge members that were able to scoop up some of those, and perhaps have since exited their position. Again, pretty hard to turn down those massive multipliers in the span of a day or two.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're going to get that thousand, like, there's a lot of other 10x opportunities out there. So you wouldn't want to necessarily risk that gigantic bag you just made 100x up to go for the 1000x. It's crypto. Take it off. Go buy some NFTs. Not financial advice.
Yeah, pretty wild that if you think back to like traditional financial investments, people wait their whole life to get a 10x
Oh my God.
on an investment or more. So we were talking about what even constitutes a coin that's mooning anymore, because we were looking at the PN coin and it was like up 5x, and we're like, yeah, not really a moon. Nah.
Exactly. And like, again, in the stock market, it's just not even comparable to these type of gains. 100x in 48 hours. It's incredible.
Yeah, pretty amazing stuff. Let's switch into NFT mode here and check out WGMI for a quick recap of what's going on in the NFT world. A couple of big movers on the one-day change. Nice to see some of those big green numbers, including Mutant Cats, which at the moment is up 112%. I'm going to do some digging into that. I'm sure they had some big news. And also in the DAO world, HeadDAO is continuing to do pretty well. HeadDAO had a bit of a scary moment, at least for me as a holder, yesterday. Somebody in the Moon Lounge posted like shamdoo going off the deep end and basically saying like, sell your HeadDAO now. I thought it was one of those plays that Opensea decided to delist HeadDAO, which is not the case, just in case anybody gets worried about hearing me say that. But yeah, shamdoo just openly tweeted out, I hate OpenSea. The shit is so far from decentralized. I'm not sure if anybody is under the impression that OpenSea is decentralized. So kind of a weird route to go. To go at a company that's hosting your project, and I think everybody got a little bit scared for that, and the trials and tribulations of a 16-year-old DAO founder, I suppose.
And I think people really always miss the point that decentralization is great to build on top of, but it's not great to exist in. Centralization has its perks, and once you've built something, centralized products within that are going to offer your average person a lot more than decentralization ever could. So,
well, let's not forget that you
fact.
do need a centralized or a semi-centralized on-ramp for the time being, because there needs to be bridges from traditional financial markets into crypto. They can't just be two completely separate entities without without that bridge. So I think a lot of these decentralized products really kind of came out from 2017 to now 2021. NFTs are probably on the precipice of having some seriously decentralized platforms as well. But for the time being, we are stuck with OpenSea. But it is a free market, and some competition is moving into the space, and that's going to force OpenSea to be reactive or potentially die. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's definitely two decentralized marketplaces being worked on by big, respected names within the NFT community that are going to debut. But, it's the same thing as a restaurant. You got to wear shoes and a shirt to go inside. And I think most customers appreciate that, even though some people would say, oh, man, that's not my right. It's not decentralized. Well, that's how you kind of look at products. The right to build the restaurant should be decentralized, but what goes on inside of it is up to the owner.
Yeah. I think that's an important thing to remember as well, right? That was a big conversation that was going on BitClout and DeSo, and we won't go too deep into it, but it was, basically your node, your rules, and this, the
Yep.
overarching blockchain was free from any rules, and how you decided to use it was the goal. Or was on you. Ethereum and these other blockchains are a lot like that, right? You got to remember that in a lot of senses they're not fully decentralized. So, speaking of OpenSea and some questionable, I guess, marketing tactics, there was a post on Twitter by someone named Florida Ape. Basically just said OpenSea has removed some valuable data from their API, didn't give a heads up to the dev community. We really wish that you would think about your users here and there. This was posted 3 days ago. A punk or Afunk, sorry, responded with OpenSea having lack of communication. Shocking. 3 days later, OpenSea finally responded. Matt from OpenSea responded with an upside down smiley face, and that was it. They took no time or effort to address this. They basically, I mean, they might as well have just put a middle finger emoji on there or something, right? Like a fucking eggplant emoji.
Yeah, and I say good. I am not of the same mind as all these spoiled traders that came into the business 2 months ago and expect this to be think or swim for JPEGs. None of you understand where we've been the last 2 years, and OpenSea is a goddamn monolith. It's a god, and I love this cheeky response. Every 2 weeks, the devs complain more is being removed from the APIs. Of course, you monkeys. These guys are going into the big leagues. All the data they have is now valuable. This is not decentralized. You're gonna have your decentralized marketplaces. Eat your OpenSea fees for now and like
it. Just out of curiosity, when did OpenSea employ you?
God bless Nate. All right.
No,
that's too far. But
I
believe
You bring up an interesting point. This is a company that is, a for-profit company, not decentralized, as we just mentioned, and a company that is on the precipice of going public. They do have rules, regulations, and people breathing down their necks, including regulators and venture capitalists, that they kind of have to listen to. They don't really have much of a say in that matter, and if they decide to kind of stick it to the man, then their hopes and dreams of hitting the stock market are nil. But it is kind of a stark contrast to how you see a company like Coinbase operate too, which I actually, appreciate some of their PR. And I think that they navigate a lot of the aspects and the core values of crypto pretty well as they bring it into like a public facing company.
Yeah. And when I say that what happened the last 3 years, it's not that it was a struggle. It's just that it's not been easy to buy NFTs. Nobody knows what NFTs are. You see how sticky even the verification issue is, right? Like, what does verification communicate to a customer when you're an NFT marketplace? Like, when it was just the insiders, it didn't really matter. No one thought about it. No one cared. Now that it's people who aren't educated in what they're doing, it obviously this blue check carries tons of significance. So I just think that OS is growing, and of course they're going to start taking away more and more stuff from their API so that they can leverage it for themselves. It's just the way it is.
It is what it is, and like you said, and like we're all aware of, there are more options coming, probably sooner than later, and at that point, if you continue to use OpenSea and you're that unsatisfied with it, that's pretty much on you. So yeah, totally kind of see both sides of it. But I personally just think that OpenSea could just do better for the community that they've been charging, 2.5% on now billions of dollars in volume over the last couple of months. So, agree to disagree on that, but always appreciate your candor with these things. No, seriously, like I understand both sides of it for sure. Circling back to WGMI, another project that we talked about in depth yesterday, but continues to roll, is the Bastard Gone Punks V2. We went into depth about why we like them. A couple people in the DGen Dojo thought we were maybe trolling the entire segment. Definitely not the case. We are very, very bullish on the Bastards. But yeah, looking yesterday, that kind of mystery person that snuck into the Discord is continuing to sweep up there. So he bought, I think, 13 yesterday, including a pack of them. So yeah, the Bastards continue to have some volume, a lot of sales on them, and again, supply might be tightening up. So just wanted to follow up on that, and if you noticed anything yesterday, I know there was somebody that undercut the entire floor by a substantial amount, and there was a bit of a war in the DGen Dojo to pick it up. So if you want to talk to that.
Well, yeah, I saw a really clean, good-looking Begon go up for 0.2. They have a live sales bot in the Discord there, so I kind of get a notification every time a new Begon goes up. Yes, I'm a little obsessed. And this one went up for 0.2, which undercut the floor by 0.08. So it is a nice 50% jump just to pick this guy up. He was super clean and good looking. I posted it in the DGen dojo because I know a lot of people are underweight Begons, and there was just a little bit of a friendly gas war, I think, as Viz pumped his up to the max to get it quickly, because I'm sure a few people not in the DGen dojo were also going for it, and luckily it went to an AM member. There are no rares left. They have been bought by this person over the last day. No, there are no well-priced rares left. There are fairly priced rares, which I don't think anyone's going to be paying in this room. There are rumors in the Begon Discord about who this person is, and I don't want to say it. I think it's irresponsible, but at the same time, let's see how it plays out over the next couple of weeks. I've always said this is a long-term play, and I'm just wondering out loud if a short-term trade is brewing as well.
Yeah, I think if you're liquid enough to pull some of these, especially if you're able to catch somebody undercutting the floor by that dramatic amount, could be pretty short term that you can see a 2, 3, 4x on this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then before we get into a couple projects that we're looking at, I found, or I can't remember who posted this. It was somebody in the DGen Dojo, but I managed to click on it, and it was a thread by someone, Darren Lau, who was talking about the making money off of airdrops, and he basically made a pretty comprehensive thread about the different plays that he's making in terms of projects that he's buying to look for airdrops. Obviously, it's all speculation. We don't know for sure that any of these are going to do airdrops, and eventually, once you do know, then the price kind of gets baked in. But he broke it down by airdrop plays for swaps. So, Paraswap, MetaMask, stable swaps, yield aggregators, savings, DeFi automation, NFTs, privacy coins. Like there's a ton of information in there. I'm not going to read them all off. There's, a lot to unpack, but I'm going to post that down in the general chat as well for people to go take a look at. So if you are somebody that wants to start doing airdrop plays and looking for some of the returns that people have got over the past week, it's a pretty valuable tool, and it was pretty well organized Twitter thread. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it, but does anything in there stand out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I did review it quickly. There's a lot of good stuff on there. I've been saying since maybe March or April that I think MetaMask was going to be the next big one. And I guess it was ENS. But MetaMask, I do think, is going to have a coin eventually. And all I'll say is the next high profile drop, watch the coin again, because they always ramp in the beginning. So even if you're not part of the airdrop, if you get in there the moment at ICO, there could be another good trade, because look at ENS. It seems to be following the exact same pattern again. So now the last 4 high-profile drops are 4 for 4 in how they behave post-drop. So at least with the initial ramp, we'll see if it does retrace, as I think it's going to. But, you could take advantage of that initial ramp. Maybe there seems to be good history there.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of
MetaMask. Yeah.
Yeah, MetaMask is one that I think most of us probably have at least one. Definitely not the worst idea to have multiple wallets regardless, just for security purposes. If one, God forbid, were to ever interact with a scam contract and whatnot, at least don't have all your eggs in one basket, right? It's like almost the same concept of like not using the same password for everything that you do, right?
Yeah, I never have a lot of ETH in the wallets that I go direct to contract, especially the stuff that's like popping up in AM that we're running into. I have a Docs wallet that has stuff in it that I like to trade and sell and buy with, and I just tend to allow that thing to do what it does naturally and not try to put a lot of ETH in, just because, we've seen the opportunists and the scammers are coming because all the money is coming here. They're going to get more sophisticated, and we can see they already are. So I just think it's always smart to at least have a trading wallet, right? And if MetaMask does do this drop, Uniswap was just based on how many wallets you connected to Uniswap and did one trade. You could have just paid gas once and you got 500 Uniswap coins for every wallet you connected. You understand that airdrop now is worth $15,000 or $20,000. I haven't looked at Uni in a bit, but that's what we think with MetaMask. You know, set up multiple MetaMask wallets, do some transactions. It doesn't have to be anything. Just spend the gas on their swap feature once, pay them their little bit, and hope that that's their policy too.
I'm just really hoping that I get airdropped something for all of the gas that I've paid on the Ethereum network.
The Ethereum airdrop from Vitalik for all the gas we paid.
Hey, he advertises airdrops of Ethereum all the time on Twitter. All you have to do is send him 4 ETH, and he will send. Please, God, don't listen to me. That's
generous guy. Yeah, that's a joke. That is a
that's the OG Twitter scam, and I'm curious as to how many people actually falled for that back in the day. But obviously, it worked considering how prevalent it was. So, yeah, pretty scary.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about projects. The Littles was one that we briefly talked about a couple days ago. Mentioned that the Discord was open and kind of referred some people over there. Interestingly, I saw an announcement this morning that they had a little bit of a hack. It doesn't seem to be anything too serious. It wasn't a Discord hack where some fraudulent, minting links got posted, but there was the whitelist document that they were keeping all of the email addresses, which is part of the whitelisting process, was exposed. So I think there was about 300 people who got their email and their public key kind of doxed. So kind of shitty that happens. It's one of those things. I've done it before myself. I don't really see the need for email addresses to be attached to a whitelist. But
right.
Projects do it, and I think it should probably highlight the importance of not only having multiple wallets, as we just mentioned, but also multiple email addresses, right? Like, don't ever put your personal email address on there, or even just your pseudonymous email address on there. Like, make a couple extra burner ones. Just write the email and the password down on paper. Tape it to the bottom of your desk or something if you ever need it, and just use those for these whitelists. There's no reason to attach your identity or even your pseudo identity to your wallet unless you are a public figure already. But it kind of it wasn't huge, but if you were on there and you filled out the email address on there, make sure that you're not clicking on any links that look like it's from the Littles.
Yeah, there's a few easy steps everybody can take to prevent a gigantic tragedy like the ones we outlined. So you might as well do them. Maybe it's hard to avoid scams as they become more sophisticated, but you can insulate yourself from tragedy.
Yeah, and in this world, once it leaves your wallet, good luck getting it back. The odd time you get like a white hat hacker that kind of exposes something and then gives it all back, but those are few and far between. I mean, if they make off with your precious ETH or NFTs, like they are gone, and you're probably never going to see it again. So yeah, be careful and stay safe out there. The Littles is actually kind of an interesting project, if we're going to ignore a slight red flag on there. But kind of getting some like Stardew Valley type vibes from them. Kind of cute. I don't know how much time you spent looking into them, but one of the things that we mentioned, I think last week or on the show, was somebody by the name of Will X Lee on Twitter posted a really great thread on Twitter called How to Create a Successful NFT Series. Now, I didn't realize, but he is actually one of the founders of the Littles. So I thought that was a great thread. It seemed to be very poignant, a lot of great advice in it, and it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out with him launching this actual NFT series.
Yeah, they seem to be doing, the standard 3. They've partnered, quote unquote, with Kongs, Mice, and Kaijus, because those are the 3 hot communities at the moment. And they're, you want your team to be competent, and it's nice to see that this is the way one of the founders is thinking. The art's really nice. It's like an actually good deluxe bears. They're pretty cute. They have really good colorways, and I believe Kongs, mice, and kaijus are all being gifted whitelist spots, but it's a raffle format because I think they're giving 50 to each community. So if you're in those communities, go click your raffle button if you didn't already. And otherwise, there's no clear way to get on the whitelist. They say be a good member of the community. So it's kind of opaque, which I agree with. It creates slightly more organic engagement, but then at the same time, since people think the only way to engage, the only way to get on the whitelist is to engage, it makes the general very busy. So it's a little more organic than the LFGs, GMs, when people know it's an engagement contest, but it's still a little busy in there. Cool project.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to keep an eye on. I'm still just doing a little bit of research on it to try and figure out. Do you know what the quantity is and what the price is? Have they even announced that yet?
They haven't. I think people have been asking. Let me see. I don't think they have announced that
Yeah,
yet.
I've spent a little bit of time looking around in it, and I can't see anything. I mean, that's one of the things I wish that companies, these projects would be a little bit more transparent about right from the get go, because
Yeah.
you got to spend a little bit of time working the whitelist. You got to spend some time, sussing out the community and figuring it all out. It's hard to justify spending that. Like if I went into this Discord and they were like, yeah, it's going to be a 25,000 mint drop, and we're gonna whitelist 30 or oh fuck whatever 20,000 people, like I probably just would stay away from it, because it's probably not a project that I'm gonna want to be a part of anyways.
Right.
And I think that that's one of the problems that we see with the whitelists in general, is that Barracks and whatnot were whitelisting everybody. Well, the second that anybody gets turned off of that project and they're already whitelisted, and now you have this whitelist that's not going to really sell out, or maybe substantially doesn't, and you avoid that public gas war. The whole thing just doesn't really sit right with me. So it would be nice to know what you're getting into, because honestly, even just for somebody else's sake, if I don't want to mint a project, then there's no sense in me being on the whitelist. And you're just taking that spot from somebody who would actually like to mint it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So another project that's kind of popped up was Wolves. Did you see this? Has anybody been talking about it?
Yeah, these are wolves, WULVEZ. They're pretty damn cute and good looking. It's a relatively new project, it seems. Their Discord link is in their Twitter. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm just trolling a little bit. I was, obviously there's been a lot of talk about this secret project called Star Wolves. Never heard of it myself, but yeah, there was a pixel art project called Wolfs, WULFZ, which you just spelt out, so I'm being redundant. But saw that pop up on Twitter. Actually, kind of cool looking art. Like it's pretty clean, pretty cutesy.
Right.
Looking at it in the Discord makes a pretty good profile picture. So I did have the Twitter pulled up, and now I've dropped it off. So I'm trying to look for the link right there. But have you done any digging on this one yet?
I haven't done too much. All I did, it popped up in the Kaiju Alpha today. So that was where I found it. And I just thought the art was cool.
Yeah,
so
you got some
take a look at it.
Some cyborg wolves with some laser eyes. Yeah, something to keep an eye on. We'll post the Discord link in the Discord. But I don't.
Yeah, so I'm warning. I just want to warn everyone. I'm about to FOMO into PN, so that is probably the top for the NFT meme coins. I just want to put that warning out there.
Like you just decided live that you're buying.
Yeah, I'm entering the transaction to Uniswap right now.
Oh, you saw gas dip, eh?
No, that's the whole point of FOMO. You don't pay attention to the dynamics of the trade. You're FOMOing.
We will we'll check back in tomorrow and see how that ended up working out for you.
Yeah, sounds good. I feel good about it, Pat. I feel good.
All right. On that note, I'm sorry to disappoint anybody that thought we were going to talk about Star Wolves, but I do think that remains the preeminent wolf-based NFT in the space. So on that note, we are going to move to the open mic session. So some familiar faces in here we'd love to have up on the stage. If you have the time and energy to do so, raise your hand and we'll bring you up. If there's anything you want to talk about, always love to shoot the shit for, we got about 20 minutes here. I'm just looking at the PN chart right now and seeing kind of what your entry point is.
There's this giant red candle on the end of the chart now. I shouldn't say giant. Oh, because it defaults me to a 1 minute chart. Why do they do that? They do that because they know it trips up new trade. Never look at a 1 minute chart. Ever.
Live on the 1 minute chart.
There's some professional advice. Oh my, are you kidding me?
No, I actually
4
don't.
hours
I don't really trade on charts anyways, so I have something.
Gotcha.
Maybe I'll take that into consideration if I ever start to do so.
I'm buying the near absolute top on what looks like a pretty violent double top in response to a coin trying to be a coin that already exists. The thing is, I have noticed that usually the first derivative works out. So that's my best bull case for PN, is that the next derivative, whichever one comes out next, WGMI's going to do a 4X and then fail. So
I don't know. I think WGMI could be a legit meme coin if that ever takes surface.
Yeah, I agree. I think that one will be dropping any day now. I don't know by who, but I'll probably ape into that also.
Yeah, there is on the DEX tools, there are a couple WGMI coins that I'm not going to touch with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah. Ooh, a hand up. We have fans.
It's our regular guest, Mr. Joshua Cottrell, invited up onto the stage. Good to see Illidan back too. We were worried after our security conversation that maybe you got picked up or something. So a little bit of a relief there.
Phew.
Raise your hand twice if you need help. Josh, what's going on? How's your Thursday morning going?
Hey, doing all right over here. Waking up slowly but surely. I'm West Coast, so it is very early over here.
Get that AeroPress going, man.
It's about that time. So obviously I want to know more about Star Wolves, but barring any details there, I have an ENS question. So I haven't really been following it. I know there was a big airdrop, saw all the tweets, everybody talking about making a bunch of money, but is it harder to get an ENS domain now after this has happened? Like, has that affected pricing or anything? Or has it had no impact on the price of the domains themselves?
I think I've seen more volume on the Opensea profile for them. And I do think it is kicking off a gold rush. I don't think I haven't bought one since the airdrop. So I don't know if going on there and buying one is more expensive. It was usually, if I remember, it was just a set price and then it was gas dependent, of course. But
you're referring to the secondary sales of these domain addresses.
Yeah, so there's two, right? You can go to the ENS website and see what names are available. If somebody has a name and it expires, you would go buy it directly from the ENS website. So like I have chemdog.eth because somebody owned that and it expired and I was able to buy it. Crazy. So many good names expired about a month ago because people hadn't set their expiration dates long enough. And I mean, I knew some people who were just such hardcore believers who aped in, and they are having a hell of a week this week.
Very, very cool.
I mean, aped. I'm talking like multiple thousands of coins in the airdrop. Craziness.
Wild. Yeah.
And probably not the way they expected to make money off the names. Like I know one guy who's been trying to sell and I'm sure he sells some now and again, but he buys them and then like reposts them, for 0.1. Because I think you were able to get them when gas was normalized at like 0.03, 0.04. So it was a good double if you could think of good names people wanted.
Yeah. The only reason I never got one was because the gas prices just at the beginning. It was like I was going to pay 5 times more in gas than the actual names themselves. I'm sure a lot of people are in that situation though now. I mean,
It's
Coulda,
weird.
shoulda,
It's
woulda.
almost like low-priced things make less sense. Like, even though technically less is coming out of your pocket, you're happier to pay gas on a higher priced item, of course, because it's such a small percentage versus
Yeah, we were
these
we
lower
were kind of
priced things.
joking
Yeah.
about like the next wave of mints actually being like really really low supply and very very expensive mints just to kind of mitigate the gas prices, right? Because if you're buying a .2 drop or something and the gas is an extra .02, you don't really care. But if it's .03 and then you have to almost double the price just in gas, there's definitely a mental kind of block that makes it not very palatable.
Damn it, I should have aped into Vibe. Look at this chart. This is the one. What did I just do? Now I'm stuck in this PN garbage. Who told me to do this?
The top is in, ladies and gentlemen.
Top is it. I'm thinking of switching coins 3 minutes after owning one. This is it. Sell your meme coin.
I did see that Illidan had his hands up. And Josh, in regards to your kind of hint at the Star Wolves, there will definitely be more coming out, but time is of the utmost importance for that project.
We'd like to let this other project fail first, and then we'll start.
Did you have a big swell of sales after we started shouting out shroom heads? Like, are you sitting on some generational guelph now?
No, I wish our supply is pretty low right now. A lot of people are holding not a ton of stuff listed, so
That's good.
So it's been slow going, but it's good. Slowly building up a little bit of that excitement and hype, and I think it's gonna be a big factor when we start releasing a few more in the spin-off series.
Right for a large pop.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if you still wanted to come up, but I did invite you up, Illidan, if you wanted to come finish off the show with us. What was the other coin that you were looking at? Vibe, you said?
Vibe. It's not near its top. It's near its bottom, so that just seems like a better buy than this thing I just bought near the absolute top. So it looks, I'm sure PN's going to do very well, and it's going to give me 100x, just like some other people in the DGen dojo.
I'm not sure if you saw. I posted in the AM chat. You could have a look at GN because GM's already pumped.
God damn it! GN now, good.
And and GN came out last night, and it pumped, but it hasn't fucking gone crazy yet. So that could be one to look at.
All right.
I was gonna answer Josh's question on the ENS stuff. I don't think the prices have actually changed yet. And when you go in to claim your ENS tokens that you have, so it wasn't an airdrop; it's a claim, right? So you, the person, need to pay the gas, and sometimes because MetaMask is shit or the contract is shit, that means having to claim the transaction like fucking 5 or 6 times before it works, and you end up paying like bloody 0.2 or 0.3 in fucking gas. Because I tried claiming mine twice, and it ate like 0.05 twice, and I don't know why I did that. So,
God!
So the ENS was a claim.
ENS is a claim, not an airdrop.
So does that mean that if you could find addresses that are on the secondary that haven't claimed yet, you could scoop them up and claim it?
No, I don't think so, because it's tied to the address. So there was some formula. There was a formula they put out on how many days you've had the ENS, and then how many days you have left, and then whether you actually set the ENS to display or not. And I'm a fucking retard, so I didn't have mine set to display, so I missed out on easily doubling what I got. But there was a formula that they had. Also, they capped out the maximum number of remaining years left to 8. So, like, I have 10 years left, I think, on the one I bought. But they only give you tokens for up to 8 years remaining. So they capped that. And then they also did a bunch of caps on, like, if you had multiple, because there were some people that had, like, fucking 1,000 ENSs, but they weren't able to claim for all of them. I'm not sure exactly what the limitations they put in were. I think some of them might have been looked at manually, like, okay, these guys are just farming, and some of them actually, they bought like 10. Okay, that's fair enough. But also, when you go into claim, you need to vote and stuff. You need to, like, as a person that's getting this at the start, you need to approve or reject a couple of motions, I guess. And one of them was, I don't know if you actually read through this when you did yours, Free Market. You had to one of the articles for approval or whatever was whether the pricing for ENS should go up to avoid people just buying stuff, or should it be left alone, and all this sort of stuff. So I obviously said no, get fucked, like, just leave it alone. We don't want things just getting the prices jacked up for the sake of it. But yeah, so the prices right now are the same, but it's going to come down to what all the ENS holders actually decide on what the pricing is going to be for the future.
Wow. All right, cool. Yeah, I didn't see the vote. I just claimed my coins. And,
you just said approve,
for the money.
Yeah,
yep, approve, whatever. I didn't read the fine print. I may have signed my entire wallet away to ENS. I had no idea.
Oh man, yeah, there were a few. Like, I approved the first one and the last one, I think, and I rejected like 2 of them because they sounded stupid to me. But yeah, I guess if a lot of people just didn't read it and said approve, then they'll be happy. And you had to pick a delegate as well before you could actually claim. So
well, I picked the punk. I scrolled through the list. Everyone looked like a douche, and I was like, well, I'll pick the punk douche at the very least.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I'm just kidding. You seem like I think the guy owns the company. That's why everyone was choosing him. So he probably wanted to prove on all the propositions.
I'm so glad we just trashed the punks live. Nothing bad could happen there.
They trashed themselves. Oh my God, what am I doing now? No,
this is worse than the time you went at Craig.
Who?
Wait, are you being serious?
No, I'm not being serious. Where has he been?
I don't know, but
I'm sure swimming in his $100 million. All right.
All right. His comment about you being a free market capitalist was maybe one of the.
Which Craig are we talking about?
From BitClout.
A BitClout fame, yeah.
Oh,
Craig
that
Clemens,
Craig. Yeah, fuck that guy.
Part of the fabled BitClout boys. Still waiting on that first single, actually. Nobody watching this gives a shit about BitClout content, so let's just switch gears there. I see Scott jumped up on the stage. GM, sir.
Yeah, GM. Hey, I had a question for the true degen coin buying. What are you paying free market? What are you paying in gas when you just did your swap for PN?
I only put 0.3 into it, and I paid 0.04 in gas.
Yeah, because I don't buy a lot of these. I don't know what you call them, micro caps. When I learned to buy Vibe, it was like 0.16 in gas to buy.
Oh my God.
That could just be the estimation, but when the transaction actually goes through, it should come out to be less.
Yeah, the few transactions I've done these days, I've definitely noticed that it goes through substantially lower than what it says.
Mm-hmm. Which I think in looking at it and buying this, like, is this, I mean, I know the gas is high and that's what's killing NFTs, but I mean, the fees are crazy. So with everybody trading these.
Yeah, the fees are very high, but that's why you see some of these people putting in 1 ETH, so then it's kind of worth it, I guess, but that's also much, much higher risk. Also a tip for you guys, if you are trying to go out and buy all these random shit coins and you do have Eden, you can switch to the Eden RPC so you can avoid getting sandwich attacked.
Yeah, which because... I have an Eden stake. Where are you, which exchange do you recommend using with Eden? Is there a best one to use?
It's all the same because Eden has 2 functions, right? The first function is making sure that your transaction gets in the bribe line if you're trying to mint and stuff. And then the other one is you can use the Eden RPC, which is kind of like Alchemy when you, or Eden mainnet. You click that, you click the drop down menu, and then it says Eden. There's a bunch of instructions. I'll need to find it, and I can post it for you guys. But it prevents all the MEV attacks, and a MEV attack is a miner extracting value attack, which is where they sandwich your transaction. They buy right before you and sell right after you. But if you're on the Eden RPC, it blocks them from doing that, which is
that doesn't sound indifferent than MEV, the mass minter.
Yeah, I mean it's exactly the same.
Where he gets his name.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it's a very accurately picked name. That's what MEV stands for, miner extractable value.
Huh. I did not realize.
Like, that's the whole slippage. Like, if you have to set your slippage to 7% for some of these crazy ass coins when they first ICO, don't forget to set it back, because you're just asking to be sandwiched for 15%. You're like, why am I already down 20%?
Yep.
Is that correct? Okay, you only need 100 Eden, right?
Yep, 100 Eden is the minimum. Yeah.
We'll definitely have to look at doing a video explaining Eden and how to set it up and use it properly too.
I used it for Orc Gods.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, the
God, I was gonna ask how that worked out for you, but I'm so sorry.
Hey, your orc should be very useful now, by the way, because he's super high level. You can use him in the raids and stuff. But also the orcs seem to be getting a little bit of attention. They were on Twitter Spaces with the mice yesterday, I think. And it looked like there was a little bit of sweeping happening. I'm just looking at the page now, and it looks like, holy shit, there's been a lot more listings. So
that was the president.
The sweep has happened, and everything's been relisted again. So all right.
I wanted to ask about orcs. If anybody has any questions, Maz is interviewing the dev team tonight. So we have them on for an interview.
God. Oh, I can't wait to watch that. Ooh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, we were actually talking about just doing a little bit more of a deep dive tomorrow as well. Definitely see if Kiwi wants to hop on too and just do a quick segment on the morning show and, take in some of what Maz learns tonight.
Yeah, that'll be good. I'll be watching that. I'll try not to fund the bag too much. There were a number of fuck ups, so I am not the happiest with the orc dev team, but I am a big bag holder now, so I need to shut up and wait for exit liquidity.
I've learned very quickly never to piss you off. Yeah, there's no coming back from it.
But it looks like they are getting a bit more attention and trying to actually do some marketing and stuff, so that should be good.
Never piss off a Scotsman.
I do hold a grudge, I'm not gonna lie. But Scott, if you could add into their questions, maybe if they're gonna include any of the things they mentioned in their previous white papers in these upcoming raids, because it looks like loot seems to not matter at all anymore, and it was explicitly stated that loot will play a part in how effective you are in raids, especially if you have matching sets of weapons and stuff, which is why people tried so hard to get into these limited loot pool items. And now it's like, all right, well, no one gives a fuck about that anymore. So what's going on there?
Yeah, I can definitely ask that.
Just for those keeping score, I am now down 20% on my PN, and Vibe is up 100% since I mentioned it.
Oh, what is Vibe? I have not seen that. I don't think I've seen that one.
Quick double while I was watching it.
Pure
my
DGen
coin is
plays.
down 20%. Yeah.
Did that just list?
Yep, pretty new. I think it's a few hours ago. 8 hours ago.
Where did you catch that pop up?
I mean, there's so many Vibes though. So which one is it? Is it the one ending in? Is it contract ending in 1996?
Let me see. I'll tell you right now. AE2E.
Ends in AE2E.
Yep.
Oh, the trading pair ends in AE2E. Yeah, that is one.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the trading pair. Yep.
All right, let's have a look at this.
With Wes.
Like?
There's like $550,000 of liquidity in it right now. Looks like it's.
Oh, this looks like a real nice bottoming pattern.
Doesn't it? Right? Doesn't it?
Off. Yeah. I mean, now it's taken off, so it's too late.
I know. Fucking just happened while we were talking too.
Should have been watching the 1 minute charts, baby.
Oh my god, I love it.
Are you guys all holding your? No, sorry, FMC. You already sold off your ENS. Did anybody else? Is anybody else holding on to their ENS for Coinbase, or are you all getting out now?
It's dead to me. Dead to me.
Yeah, I'm still holding mine.
All right, I just invited In Business up on the stage, and we'll probably close with him. But I think we're setting a new record for more than 50% of the listeners up on the stage now. So,
you guys can hear me?
Stats.
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
Cool. I got to give a shout out to Josh. He lent me the mint pass like a couple days ago on his fungibles that he wasn't gonna mint, and I sold that last night for a nice little profit. So a little 0.06. So thank you, Josh, for not running away with my money when I went that for me. Little AlphaMint team win there.
Always love to see the collaboration in the Moon Lounge there for sure.
I don't know if you guys mentioned we were talking about ARCs for a second. I did. I don't know why I spent 2 hours on a spreadsheet trying to calculate it out already. I don't know why I like to do that stuff, but it is going to be going for the maximum dungeon you can get into. Seems to be the better play than, being at the ideal level that they had for a lower dungeon. So if you're a level 30 orc, you want to go into the higher dungeon with a minimum amount versus going into the lower dungeon with a level 30. You're going to get more average bone shards that way.
Hey, I wanted to ask you.
Very good.
Is there some...
Sorry, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I just wanted to ask, because there are some big orc holders here. So what do you guys think of phase 2? It's definitely kind of invigorated people that are already playing the game or interested in this. Do you think this brings in new users? Because I haven't really read through the white paper completely, but I know there's like shamans and bone shards. Do you see this widening the player base the way mutants widened ape holders?
I think that with their marketing that they are kind of maybe getting some new people buying in, but I don't think it's as widespread as we would like or we would need, because it's still an expensive fucking buy-in to play a game. And if you buy just one, right, how long is it going to take you to mint a fucking shaman? You need 60 bone shards to mint a shaman. And let's say you buy a floor orc, right, for 0.6 ETH or whatever it is. And just having a look over here now, let's have a look at some of these floor orcs. They're going to be like level 10 or level 5 or something like this. What is this guy at? This guy's fucking level 1. Okay, yeah, great.
You're going to need 9 raids.
This guy's also level 1. So you would then, let me pull up the orc white paper here again so I can see the lower level tiers, because I've been focusing on the higher ones. So you would be guaranteed, if you're level, you can't even raid at level 1, right? You need to be minimum level 5. And being at a minimum level 5, you get a minimum of 2 bone shards, 85% chance. And, then 15% chance of getting 3, no chance of getting 5. So, just doing basic math over here. If you get only 2 bone shards guaranteed, that means you need to raid 30 times, right? Having to raid 30 times is a lot, because each raid is 8 days. So that is 240 fucking days for you to be able to mint a shaman using a single floor orc, plus the cost of having to buy Zug. So at a Zug cost of 65, raiding 30 times, it's almost 2,000 Zug, but you can get a bit of a discount if they said if you raid 2 times in a go, you can pay less and stuff like that. So the Zug cost isn't actually too bad. Zug's like 50 cents or something. So you're now looking at maybe about $1,000, $1,500, plus buying the orc, plus the time leveling, plus you know, 240 days. That's what is that? That's like 8 months.
An eon and NFT years.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to derail the show. I would be interested in having an entire, as someone who has a lot of orcs too, I'd be interested in having an entire conversation on this with you, DRK, and what we think the potential is mid to long term, like with phase 2, as far as adoption for new people coming in.
You guys want to have a post morning show chat in the Moon Lounge about orc strategy for a few minutes?
Yeah, I was actually going to say I do have to get going, guys. Great to have so many people jump in here and actually have a pretty vibrant voice chat. I don't actually have a lot of input because I haven't been in orcs, so I mean, you guys will know way more than I do. But by all means, like, definitely. I mean, we could even leave the show open, but yeah, jump down into the voice chat and keep that going, because you know, if you guys spend time in there, I guarantee you, like, people will slowly filter in and out of the room, and we can keep a voice chat going too. Something that I'm definitely going to be active in the next couple of weeks.
Having voice chats is really good, I think. Like, I think I mentioned this to Scott a couple of times before, but there's another server that I'm in that like, I'm on the voice all the time, and it's good. I mean, it's good fun, it's good laughs and stuff like that, but also whenever something's going quick, it's way easier than catching up on fucking 300 messages. You're like, hey, someone film me and what's going on. It's like 2 seconds, boom, you're up to speed. It's good.
Look at if we just did that with GM and someone gave their quick 60-second thesis on, like, here's where I'm making into GM 2 days ago when it was a 10 million market cap and now it's 400 million.
Yeah. Wow. Did anybody here bank the win on GM, by the way? I saw that way too late. Way too late.
Yeah, Scrappy, I think, shared it 2 days ago, and Lucas definitely did.
Yeah, there were a couple people that did very well on that trade, so kudos to them.
I need to crack my, or pop my cherry on buying some of these shit coins. I've never bought any of these.
Don't buy PM.
Yeah. I almost did.
Was that
I saw the same thing Scott did. I was like, I was going to buy like 0.1 or 0.2, and then I was like, this is going to cost more in gas than I'm going to buy.
Yo, GM is legit. The person behind GM is this girl. Her name is Liv, and she was behind Ass. So if you guys remember Ass, it like surpassed $1 billion plus market cap. So they have a pretty good team in place, and
nice.
Yeah, and then probably nothing came out of nowhere. Fungibles, who I recognized from BitClout, he apparently got on a call with the team from probably nothing yesterday and started shilling them on Twitter, and that's when it really took off. And then they also locked their liquidity until February, you know, which obviously gives people assurance that it's not a rug, which is pretty common. And I think, I mean, so just some alpha, like in the CyberKongs chat, like, you know, I think this guy Coco, I'm fairly new there, but I think Coco is the founder of Kongs. And this morning, like, he never goes in the shitcoin talk like channel. Like, the only time he's wrote in the shitcoin talk before was this message. He said, all your investments are going to go to zero. These are 100% shit. Right? Like, kind of like a disclaimer. And then this morning, he shares a screenshot of a transaction, and he bought 20 ETH of PN.
That's funny. All right, so maybe PM is a buy.
Yeah, I think.
What did you have to set slippage to on Vibe? I can't get my swap to go through. Did you use Uniswap?
Yeah. You should probably set it like 14% tax.
I love it. That's how I know it's a good coin. Here we go, baby.
All right. Okay, on that note, I am going to jump out of the call. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in. Keep the voice chat going, though, after I leave, and we will do it all over again tomorrow. So we'll catch you then. Thanks so much.